Group E, continuing on from the crazy action we had to close this group out. Japan 2, Spain 1. Samurai Blue to finish top of this World Cup group with 6 points. They top a World Cup group for the first time since 2002, and they are the only Asian country to win their group in the World Cup twice. Where to start? So, Spain. This is an issue I think that Spain has. The problem with Spain is that they don't really have anyone on their team that I think can decide a game on their own. The issue with having a team that's built on a collective and playing like an evolved tiki-taka type of football is that you don't have any one specific go-to guy that can turn a match on its head just by himself. If you defend really low and well, they will run into a brick wall by lack of creativity. And defensively, Spain is a little suspicious because they're not used to other teams having a go at them and pressing them high up the pitch so technically. Spain is usually stifled by teams that set up a deep block, teams that at least know what they're doing, not what Costa Rica did in the first match where they got blown out. And the thing with Spain is they really need to find someone who can score out of nothing. Spain's goals hardly ever are produced out of nowhere. You see them coming with their pinball type passing. Maybe 2 years ago it would have been Fati, but he's not himself. And I think Spain also suffers from the fact that they have no size up front or in the middle, so the only crosses that would really work for them are low crosses. Morata is their only threat in crosses, and granted, he got a goal today from that, from his header in the 11th minute. But I still think they can win the whole thing just because they're Spain, and also because of the fact that other big teams don't tend to defend with 9 players. So when Spain comes up against another side of equal or greater caliber, they'll be coming up against opponents that are more open and will allow Spain's midfielders a chance to create more chances. So it's a give and take. But still, I think Spain is suffering yet again from the fact that they don't have that one go-to difference maker in their squad. And it often comes down to play style because for certain teams like Japan, they sometimes play better as an underdog because the other team is more likely to come out and attack. And if you can counter them, you can catch them off guard. And the way that Japan responded to going down early was they did not panic. And this was absolutely vital to why they came away with a victory here. Because Japan were in trouble when they went down early in the first half in the live standings because they needed to get a result from this game because Germany were going to beat Costa Rica. But instead of opening up and allowing themselves to get pummeled, they let Spain play their own game. Notice how after Morata scored, the tempo of the match kind of died down a little bit. Japan allowed Spain to have the ball. They were patient. They defended where they needed to. They put numbers back. They tried to squeeze Spain out in tight spaces. They let Spain do their thing, and they continued to play on as if it was still 0-0. Let's just ride this out. Let's get to halftime. Let's not concede again. And then, boom, Moriyasu makes the adjustments that he needs to. Ritsu Doan, one of them being the key ones. And then Japan comes out right from the starting gate in the second half, and they punch Spain on the damn nose. Right away, great strike from distance. Looked like the Spanish keeper got a touch to it, but couldn't keep it out. And all of a sudden, this match is turned on its head. And then you have a complete shift in the tide, where Japan starts technically high pressing Spain, and Spain doesn't know what the hell to do because they're not used to this. And then they get a second goal. They grab a second goal. And just in the span of 3 minutes, 2 goals in quick succession, like how Japan did against Germany, Japan comes back into this match. It was like clockwork. It was like Groundhog Day. Down 1-0, make substitutions, catch the other team off their guard, change the approach entirely. Bam, 1, 2, 3. 2 quick goals back to back. And then you just leave the opponent stranded, trying to figure out what the hell happened. I think Luis Enrique, he for sure as hell didn't know what happened. When Japan scored that second goal, the Spanish players were in unfamiliar territory because they're not used to giving up leads like this. They thought Japan was going to come out more or less the same way, and they probably thought, as the game goes on, they're going to get desperate. We're going to have more goal-scoring opportunities. We'll put this away 2-3-0. That wasn't the case at all. This match was won by Japan because Japan did not lose their nerves. Japan let Spain have 17% possession. That's ridiculous. You win a World Cup match with only 17% possession. I read a stat, and this was mentioned by Dominic Rich on his World Cup Digest episode that I just finished with him for tonight. This was, I think, the lowest possession a team's had in World Cup history that won a match. That is absurd. Spain could not win with 83% of the ball. So good adjustments from Moriyasu, but also Japan showed a lot of steadiness and discipline to not let this get away from them. Because they know what Spain is all about. Let them do their own thing, get it to halftime, and then boom, hit them right away. Now, was Altanaka's goal legit? Did it cross the line to go out for a goal kick? It looked very close. Millimeters we're talking about. The referee decided it had not fully crossed the line. It was inconclusive at most. Therefore, the goal has to stay. I'm not sure how I feel about it because when I first saw it and when I saw it many more times, it looked like the ball was out. So I don't really quite know what to make of it. I kind of lean towards I think it was out. But you have to look at it from different angles, and we don't have an aerial view of it. We don't have it from above. Hopefully that changes in future World Cups where incidents like this are easier to suss out because you have views of it from every single angle, including above. For my money, I don't want to be a bummer. I think the ball was out. But that's just me personally. And it's the goal that sends Japan through and eliminates Germany. But you have to give Japan a lot of credit. They took out 2 giants, 2 former world champions in their World Cup group after losing to Costa Rica. And that is the weirdest way. I still don't know how to make sense of it, but it is the weirdest way for Japan to come out. And you got to love the World Cup. This is why we love football. This is why we love the World Cup. Crazy things happen that are unexplainable.